Seriously, October baseball is like a holiday to me. Like playoffs, postseason, World Series, literally a holiday. You should know this, Ed. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I forgot who I'm talking to. Yeah.
So, yeah, really. So Christmas and all the other holidays, that's 2, 3, and 4, however you want to rank them. We had our postseason special that we did over the weekend and went on air on KSRN Arizona yesterday. I hope you guys had a listen. If you guys didn't, please go ahead and go to wherever it is that you listen to podcasts, download, give you some of the rundown that was the postseason for MLB. We had some amazing guests. Ed Smith, Eileen Carrasco, Brett Laurent, great friends, and just cannot say enough how much fun we had and how much we covered for you guys. So, but I just have to hand it to the Braves and give the Astros some props. You know, I know they're not the favorite team in baseball right now, but I do have to say and applaud also Dusty Baker and the Astros for this season and what Dusty Baker came into the Astros with, you know, the scandal, that shadow, and just trying to turn that around. And he's just the best guy who can come in and turn over that leaf. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time, but no one better than to be able to do that than Dusty Baker.
I agree. From a PR standpoint, who would have done a better job than Dusty Baker? Like you said, for him to come in, who hates Dusty Baker? If you're a baseball fan, you love Dusty Baker for what he did as a player and as a manager. He's just a lovable guy. And he came in and adopted probably one of the worst situations a manager could ever have, a team coming off coming off the cheating scandal and everything he's got to deal with from a media standpoint, and trying to keep all of his guys together and keep the organization up running and floating as much as possible during a 60-game rush of a season. And you're trying to make a run toward the playoffs, Joe, and you've got COVID you've got to deal with. You've got all this shortened season, and there's travel involved with it, albeit not that much travel, but still 60 games in a matter of, and there's very few days they had to get the season in. And they went 29-31, made the playoffs, made the run that they did, went down 3-0 against Tampa, fought back to force a Game 7. They didn't win, of course. That's why Tampa's playing the Dodgers in the World Series right now. But for the fact that they were down 3-0 and they fought back to force a Game 7 just shows what the Houston Astros were made of. Although we have to do a little tip of our hat for them actually forcing a Game 7, just a little tip, but not too much more than that, for the fact that they were that competitive and they made that series what it was. And we had 2 Game 7s in the NLCS and the ALCS. How great was that, Joe?
That was amazing. That's the one why I have to give it up to the Astros, because I did not expect for them to go 7 games. You and I had talked about this during the week. We're like, oh, it's not going to go 7 games. This will be wrapped up Game 5. We're good. No, both went 7 games, which was unexpected and which made the series even so much better, and which is why I love October baseball. You never know what's going to happen. When you think it's over, it's not. Or when you don't think it's over, it's like, wow, like then you're sad and down in the dumps, but at least you have some more baseball to look forward to, in that end, and looking to some more World Series. But the Braves, I cannot go unmentioned either.
Yes. Although they gave up that 3-1 series lead and lost to the Dodgers, the fact that they made it that far and they played supremely well. They played so well against the Florida Marlins, shut them out 2 of the 3 games they played. Again, had a 3-1 lead on the Los Angeles Dodgers, couldn't hold the lead, but they were such a fun team to watch, weren't they? Every time they came on TV, you're just like, the energy that they had from top to bottom with all their players, and they all rallied around each other. It's sad that they weren't able to go to the World Series. They couldn't hold that 3-1 series lead. But the fact that they made it to the NLCS and they were on the brink of the World Series, that'll set the Braves up for a lot of success down the line for at least the next 4 to 6 years, at least, if not more.
Oh, definitely. And Dansby Swanson, who was previous Diamondback, I cannot forget him coming in to the organization. And soon as I saw that guy and the way he played, the dedication and just how lit he is for baseball, and just his style of playing is what I saw. That I saw him, and I'm like, that's a guy to look out for. That's a guy that you need to not lose track of, because he's going to become a great player, and he's going to be a name to remember. Seeing him with the Braves, unfortunately, there was a trade. He went on to the Braves, and seeing him in the postseason and seeing what he was able to do, my goodness, just phenomenal. I say, do not lose track of him. Keep your eyes on this guy. And another one also in the postseason, also Acuna, another phenomenal guy. He was just blazing, is one of the words that I can just put it all together. But so much greatness, so much happened. A lot of, stars are born in the postseason in baseball, because those names that you do not know, or they're not a name like Goldschmidt, they're not a name like Aaron Judge or like Derek Jeter, just going back, this is when they are born. So these are some of the guys to look out for. And
Joe, we're seeing it right now with the Tampa Bay Rays. Randy Arozarena, a rookie, comes in. He's the MVP of the ALCS. He's batting almost 400 in the postseason. This is his first postseason as a rookie. Arozarena comes in and just takes this thing like he's been a veteran for 15 or 16 years, like he's played this game forever. But this is his first postseason as a rookie, and it's like it doesn't even faze him.
Exactly. And that was another one that I was going to mention. Thank you for bringing him up. And being the first rookie that he wins the ALCS MVP too. Yes. So he's just another one, phenomenal. We can just keep going down the list, Ed. We really can. And that really sets things up good for baseball, because now you have, and like for San Diego, you've got Fernando Tatis Jr. You talked about Acuna. You've got Marcell Ozuna for the Atlanta Braves. If he sticks around, that's another major face for that franchise outside of Freddie Freeman. Every team that was in the playoffs has a couple really significant names and players out there that young kids should look up to. Any young kid that looks and says, "Oh man, I want to play baseball when I get their age. When I grow up, I want to play baseball. I want to be like Fernando Tatis Jr. I want to be like Ronald Acuna Jr." Now, baseball has plenty of stars. It's a star-studded business as far as baseball is concerned, because before people would think, "Oh, baseball is boring. Why would I want to sit and watch baseball for 2.5 or 3 hours? It's not really exciting." But now these teams have exciting players that make it exciting to watch. Definitely. And we had touched on this a while back, and we had mentioned it with the season that is MLB baseball, how we haven't really seen a lot of promotion out there with baseball players, and one of those we had brought it up, and I believe it was PLR, is like, hey, or in a conversation that we were having, is San Diego Padres, Fernando Tatis Jr., how even just during the regular season, how phenomenal he was. And you can start hearing the name and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy, have you seen him and what he did and da-da-da. Okay. Why MLB wasn't putting his name out there? Typically any other regular baseball season, you'll see this, the names, so you'll see, hey, some type of promoting players and getting their, trying to attract fans or getting eyes on a player or on a team. We didn't see that happen so much this year. And I think it should have been one of those years that MLB should have capitalized on. And if they didn't do it this year, and what we have seen out of the postseason and off of those names that we just mentioned, being that this is when stars are born and you seeing, oh, this player, this is how great he was. Or do you remember what he did in the postseason or the World Series? That's a not unknown, very well known name. That MLB takes advantage of this going into next season and capitalizes on it and go ahead and brings eyes and brings fans to those players, to those organizations like the Braves, like the Padres, Fernando Tatis Jr., the Rays, just to mention a few. And I hope that MLB does turn that around a little bit. It was a little bit disappointing to see that this season.
And even with the Dodgers, a guy like Cody Bellinger, you've got to be able to capitalize off of a talent like that, and especially a local Arizona talent. You know, you've got a guy like that that can hit a home run and win Game 7 of the NLCS for you, and come up in Game 1 of the World Series and hit a 2-run home run for you. Why does Major League Baseball not want to capitalize and put him front and center as one of the faces of your organization? The NFL does it. The NBA does it with all of their superstars. Why can the MLB not follow suit with the NBA and the NFL and market their superstars?
Exactly. And I totally agree with you. And hopefully MLB changes that. I would like to see that, for them to do that more often, and just how much more revenue and how much more fans they can attract, especially if it's a fan base that is struggling. This is one of the marketing strategies that you can capitalize on.
Exactly. Everybody is attracted to a superstar, right, Joe? Yes. So if you got superstars on all of your teams or a majority of your teams, put them out there. That's how you get fans to come to your games, and how you get people to buy merchandise, by marketing your superstars.
Definitely. And talking about superstars in postseason, we have the World Series that has kicked off. And boy, oh boy, how is it exciting. Just going back to that. So the Dodgers, like you mentioned, they have Bellinger, who's just been bums away, like literally bums away.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have the Rays. They struggled in their first game. We have Glasnow, who through 5 innings had 112 pitches. I cannot stress that enough. 512 pitches in 5 innings. I cannot remember the last time that I saw anything like that.
Yeah, 112 pitches in 4 1/3 innings. That is a lot of pitches, like you mentioned. That's almost 30 pitches an inning. Mm-hmm. It's way too many throws. Way
too many. And Glasnow, he was doing great. No doubt about that. He started off great and seemed like he had the game under control. But the Dodgers just broke it open, and they just, did damage. They did that damage in that 5th inning. Bellinger, home run. And Mookie Betts, who is just another superstar as well in what he does. And Kershaw, actually, I know we tend to critique, and we had talked about it in the postseason, which is Kershaw tends to struggle in the postseason. And actually, this game, that was actually not the case. Mm-hmm. He was able to come out on top. Had a little, he did have some struggles, at the start. But
yeah, the first inning was a little rough for him. He gave up a hit and a walk, but he got out of that. And then after that, I like what John Smoltz said. He made a great analogy. He was like, if Kershaw can get through this first inning, just watch him cruise. And that's pretty much what he did.
And that's the Kershaw, when he's good, the Kershaw that we know. And hopefully we get to see that, and Dodgers get to see that out of Kershaw as we go through the World Series for the next game that he pitches, if there is another game, which I think there will be, because we know that can also, how that can turn out badly and quickly. But one of the things, Kershaw did reach a milestone.
He did, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. A strikeout milestone, passing John Smoltz to become the second hitter with 200 strikeouts in the postseason. Justin Verlander is at the top with 205.
So how far is he behind Verlander?
He was 5 behind Verlander.
So he's right at 200?
Kershaw was at 200. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if he gets another start, possibly he could break Verlander's record.
Yep. It's all possible. So we're seeing history here.
When you saw the Dodgers, that 5th inning, that was just typical of what they do. They played small ball. They had the 2 walks. They stole 3 bases, 2 of them by Mookie Betts. That kid is phenomenal. I love the way he plays. So if he's not going to beat you with his bat, he'll beat you with his glove, as we saw in Game 7 against the Braves with that phenomenal catch, and a lot of other catches he made against the Braves, some incredible catches. And he'll beat you with his legs like he did tonight against the Braves. The way he came home off third base off of that, the way he took that long lead off third base, and he still was able to get home from third base on an infield grounder, just an incredible play. The way Mookie plays, I love the way